Okay, did we get a good run? Not really. We don't gain any ground on the car in front there. Ooh, nearly hit him. Tap off the brakes. Take the corner a little tight. No, not good. Fortunately, as I made this track, I do know it quite well. We're going to come out ahead of that green one. Oh, big crash from the AI in front. He's out of the race. We take second round the final corner of the first lap. He takes a little bit of a bump. We've got a good drag. I can't quite get past him. No, he's blocking me. He's taking a shorter route. We're going to go wide. Ooh, try not to get him. I think we've got him. Oops, I crashed. Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2 of my failed past projects in Unity. There wasn't really meant to be a part 2, it was meant to be done in one video, but I ended up rambling on for so long that I had to cut it into 2, so this is just a continuation on from the recording session that I did. Okay, I just realised I spoke about that last game for like 20 minutes, and I don't know what I'm going to do to edit that down into a video. That should have been its own video, but oh well, who cares? Let's move on, I'll worry about it later. This one was called House Gen, Random House. Now, from the title, you guys might be able to guess what the idea behind this was. I wanted to get into random generation. Now, I can't do it from scratch, I am no genius, so I'm using an asset for this called Dungen. And there doesn't seem to be really much about it online at all. I had to learn how to use this tool through its own documentation it provides itself. And after a few read-throughs and a little bit of trial and error, I've understood it. And it's really quite powerful. If I hit play here, we get a randomly generated house. The top view here is the scene view of like what's generated. This pink is the nav mesh, which would eventually allow AIs to be able to navigate the level through. Even though it's randomly generated, we'd still be able to sort of use it. And then inside, in the first person, as you can see, we can move about. And we have a little mini map, so you can see the layout. This long bit out here is grass. You can't actually see it. There's no window spawned, which is the second thing that I created, was the window spawning mechanics. I wanted windows to spawn so you could see outside, even though there's nothing out there, but I didn't want the windows to spawn in like an area where they shouldn't, like interior walls. Obviously, it took ages. And there were so many times where I thought I had it, and then I'd generate a new house and there would be an interior window, and I'd be like, oh no, what have I done? I've messed something up. That's a small house. We can get some larger ones. I can change the sizes and shapes of the room, but obviously this game didn't get that far, so it never got there. It did start randomly placing in this an Xbox or games console on the floor. I got some randomly sort of generated items starting to appear. This blue floor is always the one with the front door at the moment. It's like the end of the maze, technically, if you like, the end of the generation. And then there's like these little carpet strips. They're there to hide up some Z-planing, some Z-fighting, where the two different textures of the floors would just overlap a little bit and it would glitch. So I put a carpet strip on it to fix that bug. But yeah, it didn't really get any far. You could sort of see the idea of it. I don't know what the actual... There was no sort of like core game loop that I was going to have for this. A lot of these projects are literally just sort of what do you call them? Not promo. What's prototype, isn't it? Like prototype sandbox games, and it's just was me learning mechanics and learning how to do stuff. And the first-person controller has really been tightened up now. It feels really good to look around with, you know, the natural sensitivity, for me at least, is set up right. And it doesn't feel slow or stodgy or anything like that. It feels pretty good. But yeah, I don't know what you would do with this game. Maybe a horror game would be quite cool. And it's a randomly generated house and it's at night time. And there's a creature or monster or like a scary guy in here. And you have to try and escape the house and find the exit before the monster gets you. Maybe that could be an idea we could come back to. But it was just about learning randomly generated stuff for this one. Yeah, next one. Okay, so this next project does hold a place near and dear to my heart, and always will, because it's the return of Purple Helmet. It needs a little bit of explanation. So Purple Helmet was a 2D game that I created on Game Maker years back. I'd done a video, released a video on it on the channel actually. The game took about a week to make, and I ended up releasing it on Android devices. I've still got it on my phone and still play it and still really enjoy it. But I always wanted to create the game in 3D, and I never knew how, which was the reason why I initially downloaded and started to learn Unity. The whole idea was to make Purple Helmet in 3D. So this is the closest I've ever got to making my vision a reality of 3D Purple Helmet. It's not perfect. It does have sound, so I've pre-turned down my volume. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. And we're working. So yeah, first thing you'll notice is some background music, which I composed, or like I made the melody for, and then I sent it to a composer, and he made it into like this orchestral medieval track, and it's sick. It's really cool. So this is the menu. This also works with your Xbox controller as well. It works with controllers. We've got, do I have an option screen? Do I dare try it? It might just crash. It crashed. Yeah, there's no option screen. So whatever volume everything is at is literally what it's set to and stuck to at the moment. But it doesn't matter. New game. No. Back. We'll do the tutorial. There's no actual content. There's only a tutorial. I remember that. So we'll do the tutorial. Some little basic transitions to come in and out while the game loads. So moving around, the left stick on the controller or the WASD keys. I've got my keyboard at the moment. I haven't got my controller, so we should be using keyboard, and we can move around. If we go to this next sign, camera movement is the mouse or the other keys. I like using the mouse, but I tried to give so many different options for this game. So you can do everything on the controller, you can do everything on the keyboard, or you can use keyboard and mouse, which is what I'm going to do for this. So the camera controls allows us to move the camera up and down and sort of in and out, a little bit like this, and left and right. But as you can see, it's sort of clamped between areas. And that's because, like how the 2D game works, if you like, I didn't want you to be able to... like, I can't fall off the edge. I didn't want the camera to be able to turn and block your view like how it would here. I wanted you to be able to turn it around, but not a full 360 degree. I didn't want a full 360 degree camera, basically, is what I'm saying with this. So everything sort of faces your direction in a way. And everything, by the way, is modeled by myself in this game. Everything, as you can probably tell, because it's not great, but everything was modeled purely by myself. And there was so much optimization done on this, and I was on Discord forums, and apparently I'd done something quite smart with these walls. I can't remember what it was, but I got praised in a Discord thing for being able to drop the amount of tries or something, tries and verts. Yeah, it was so unoptimized at first because I was using a weird software to 3D model these. It wasn't like Blender or Cinema 4D or anything. It was like this weird voxel software. I can't remember what it's called. Magic Voxel or something like that. It was a really good modeling tool, but then when you imported those into Unity, which you shouldn't really normally be able to do, it was like 20 million tries and like 50 million verts, and I managed to optimize it down to, well, we've got 250,000 verts and 100,000 tries at the moment. Obviously it'll adjust when we zoom in and out and when other stuff comes on screen, but yeah, there was something really cool that I done apparently. So I was quite proud of that. We can pick up some coins. The sound effects, by the way, in this game, oh, how's it running for you guys? Is it choppy? It's a little bit choppy. I'm not going to be able to do much about that. The sound effects are all made by my mouth. So all the jumping and all the popping sounds, it was just a quick way to make sound effects. So we can jump and we can avoid some spikes. We can double jump. We can dash with shift. We can pick up potions and use them to recover hearts. The UI in this is broken and awful, and it needs a lot of improving. We can slam, so we've got like little combinations. You can jump and press control, and you'll slam and break things. There we got a stamina potion in that one. Stamina potion regenerates stamina for a short amount of time. We use stamina when you slam and stuff like that. Pretty cool. And we can do some platforming to get up there. Spike traps. Watch where you walk. Look out for many kinds of traps. So if we walk over one of these, spikes pop out and we get damaged. And as you can see, when we get damaged, we like break off little pieces of blocks off us, which is pretty cool. And they sort of go there. You can't fall off the edge, by the way. There's like an invisible wall there. It was just a way that I could like make a level without having a wall in the way. What did these say? Oh yeah, attack. So we can click in our left mouse button to attack, and we can cycle our load out by using the scroll wheel, so we can get ourselves a sword. And then we've got a little dummy here. We attack little dummy. I don't know what this one says. Oh, dodge. So if we're not jumping, we can hit the slam button, and we'll sort of just jump back a little bit. Good way for dodging opponents. Dashing into enemies hurt them, and slamming on enemies destroys them. So if we jump on top of these guys and we slam down, they explode into a load of little cubes. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Dashing, slamming, blocking, and dodging will deplete stamina. You must be on the ground to regain stamina. Pick up them coins. We've got another health potion inside that one. As you can see, the barrel breaks up into pieces as well. This sign introduces us to magic. So there was also an invisible trigger there, which added a fireball to our hand. So we can destroy this guy, as long as I can aim it right. It's easier to aim with a controller than on the keyboard, as you can imagine. But yeah, we've got some ranged attacks going on, and a magic potion as well. As you can see on the top left of our screen, we've got our inventory, so you can see what other items and stuff we can get. We can pause the game, we can push blocks, and we can put them on pressure plates. So if we push this little cube here, we can roll that over onto the moving platform, which works with us. We can pick up the heart. Boop. There we go. Little animations and sound effects going on there. If we jump in the lava, it will hurt. Ow! As you can see, we get some little burn stuff. Interact A or E, but the door is locked. We need a key, so we're going to go this way, and we're going to climb down the ladder. It automatically climbs down. It's pretty cool. We can block with Q or with the right mouse button, and that'll block. And even if I've got a sword out, you see, we'll do a little block animation. So can I block? There we go. A little bit of knockback on there as well, or we can jump over it, obviously, if you time it right. We can pick up the key. Okay, let's get out. Ooh, dash. You use the dash attack as like a sprint as well. It was pretty cool. There's a lot I could probably still do about this. I suppose the reason why this game stopped and why I didn't develop it further was creating the levels was really inefficient and really long. It's actually built out of pieces, out of like Lego blocks, is the best way to describe it. So each sort of brick is its own block, and it's not great for optimization, as the recording can probably tell. It's a little bit jumpy. What's this? A slow time potion, a potion that slows down time for a short period of time. We can slam on all these. Hey, we got them all. Cool. And it breaks in a load of pieces, and we can flick that lever. I don't know what that lever does, but it done something. So we'll go down here. Oh, I know what it done. That lever stopped the arrow traps. See in the walls here? Those were arrow traps. Find a way to turn off the traps to pass safely. So it allows us to then platform our way. Little tricky towards the camera platformer there. Show all controls, tab. Okay, there you go. Look, so we've got the keyboard controls, the mouse controls, and the controller controls. And that Xbox controller is a 3D model that I've created in the 3D modeling software. I actually think it looks pretty cool. I could use that in other games. It's a really good controller layout. Yeah, works pretty well. I like that. Okay, tab to close it. Is it? Yeah. And we've got here enemy variants. You cannot slam on spiked enemies, so the only way that we can really get rid of these guys is by either attacking them with our sword, or ow, or dashing into them. Yeah, dashing into them also There we go. And we popped him. Cool. I think that the flags have a little bit of wind on them. Yeah, they blow forward and backwards. And I love the torches. I like the little torch effects there with a little bit of a flickering light going on in the background. Toggle between lantern and shield. T. Okay, so yes, this allowed us to put our shield away so we can't defend ourselves as easy. But it did allow us to then look in dark spaces. I was going to have dark levels. As well, you can see a little bit of a Lego brick lighting glitch going on there. As you can see, the lighting looks a little bit weird on that bit. Okay, let's get my shield back out. Water, we can swim. Little swimming animation. There's some bubbles that that pop as we're underneath it, and if we go above the water, we regain health. If we lose all our air bubbles, we obviously start losing health. And then the idea of each level was to interact with the treasure chest at the end. Game saved, and you'd get a sort of statistic page. Level completed. We got a rank of bronze. You get a bronze chest if you complete the level. You get a silver chest if you collect all the coins. Now, we did destroy all the enemies. We got a tick, but we don't get the gold chest because we didn't complete the prior requirements of collecting all the coins. I think we missed those ones in the water. And you get a platinum chest if you do all of the previous things and take no damage, which was a big aspect of the 2D version of Purple Helmet. In that game, you could complete different objectives like this, completing the level and collecting all the coins or killing the enemies and stuff, and you'd get different rank there. So I wanted to have that again in with the new one. But the actual game doesn't have any content. We've got 3 profiles, and we can save and we can load, and it tracks statistics and everything. This was like the level select screen, so level 1, and the chest is incomplete. If we go in the door here, kind of like how the old Super Mario World was, this is literally the first level. So if we don't collect that coin and we open up the chest, the game saves. We get a bronze level because although we done all of this stuff, we killed all the enemies that there weren't any, and we didn't take no damage. We didn't collect all the coins, so we only get the bronze chest. If we go back to the level select here, as you can see now, that chest has been changed to a bronze one. And then level 2 is now unlocked. The door is open on level 2, and we can go in there. Level 2 doesn't even have a coin. It's easier than level 1. And if we open the chest here, we get ourselves a platinum chest. Level select there, so that one's gold, that one's platinum. We go back in this one, collect the coin now, and that should give us a platinum for this one. Perfect. And the third door actually went to the sort of what do you call it, like the debug room, I suppose is the best word for it. So it just had like a load of test items in here really. I had some arrows, some bombs. Ooh, ow, I got hit. So those were the fire one that we saw in the tutorial level, and I think this ice one, I think it freezes you when it shoots. This one has a longer shoot time. Yeah, it freezes you in an ice cube, and I can't move or jump or do anything, and then it runs out, and you can move again as it sort of melts away. We've got arrow traps going on there. The arrows are getting stuck in the invisible wall. They are despawning, so it's not creating like a lag thing going on there. What weapons do we have? So we've got a fireball, we've got the ice shot, which would freeze other enemies. Fire one, ice one. A lightning one, that would shock, I think that shocks enemies and nearby enemies as well. It sort of arc to them. And that was, oh, and a little dagger, a club. These all done different damage as well. A sword, an axe, a battle axe. Oh, what do you call them? What are these called? Choo. Choo. Oh, everyone's going to be going crazy at me in the comments section. Crossbow. That's the word. Crossbow. Crossbow. That's the battle axe again. Other way. Bombs. So these are like little grenades. So we can throw the bombs. And they blow up. It landed on its wig again. Yeah, cool. I think if you throw it into the water, they extinguish. They just go out, which is pretty cool. So there's some water and some splashing. If we collect the key, oh yeah, slow down potion. We did pick one up, but we never done it. We can hit the slow down potion. We get some really cool effects go off as time slows down. We can and lob the bomb over there. Yeah, it bounces around. That didn't land on its wig that time, and it blows up in slow motion. Really cool. All works. The slow motion will run out soon, I assume. Let's have a look at the electric one. Let's open this door, and oh yeah, look, yeah. See, it's shocking them. Oh, and it's giving them like effects afterwards. Cool. Freeze the blue one up. Hey, you know, that's not too bad. And then the bomb enemy is obviously a classic enemy from my original Purple Helmet game. He hisses, and if he hisses for too long, he obviously blows up and hurts everything in the area. Boom, and blows up. I'm hurt quite bad. I died. I fell in the lava and died. And the game crashed because apparently it says at the bottom, the coroutine bounce damage cooldown timer couldn't be started because the game object player is inactive because I died. There's a bug. Yeah, bug. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything more to it. And then there's a chest up here. That ended the game. Yeah, pretty cool. There's actually a lot of stuff that you can do in this. Again, like everything is set up to go. It's just that creating the levels was really slow and painful, and I didn't like the UI. But I could come back to this at some time. That's a pretty cool amount of content actually for one little game. Yeah, pleased. Well, have I got anything else? I wonder if I've got anything else. Okay, and finally, we've got a bit of a racing prototype game. Unfortunately, I've had to drop the recording quality down to 1080 for this game. Playing it in 4K and recording it in 4K was apparently too much for an unoptimized one. But yeah, I went back to the car controllers. I wanted to get a better controlled car, as opposed to that early one that we played on in that little city place. Got quite a bit of content on this one. It works great with the controller. Xbox or PlayStation, whatever. I'm going to be using keyboard today and mouse. But the reason why this game stopped developing it, was I couldn't get it to work properly on a steering wheel controller, like an actual steering wheel one. I could get it to work jankily, sort of half work it, but I couldn't get it to work properly. And I mean, who wants to play a racing game if you can't actually use steering wheel and pedals for it? So I sort of stopped development. But anyway, maybe we'll come back to it another time. We're going to keep the gearbox manual at the moment. There is only the one track, unfortunately. And you know what? Just to show you for the moment, I'm just going to put it on no opponents, and we can just have a drive around. We've got a few cars to choose from: a hatchback, an exotic car, a truck. These sound effects in my ears are really loud. They should be too loud for you, but they won't do it, I don't think, anymore. No, we're good. Okay. It's so loud, it was like a boom in my ear. A hatchback, an exotic, a big old truck, a muscle car, and a sedan. Which I think is a good set of different cars for a little bit of a prototype here. Let's go in the muscle car to begin with, and we'll just hit start race. A little bit of a loading screen as well, to try and hide the jankiness. Oh, maybe not in this version. And I think in this version, before we get going, I think the position in the top left corner always says first. I did get it working with opponents in the end, but it might not work in this build. Anyway, let's just go. Turn it down, because loud in my ear hole. Turn it down a bit more. And perfect, we're away. Little bit of wheel spin, some tyre marks on the road. The car controller now is a lot better. The camera's a lot better. We can go inside the vehicle and our steering wheel moves. We've got a rev dial in the dashboard and a speed dial in the dashboard. This vehicle has gears. The gears in the middle of our speedo on the bottom right there. Gear 3, gear 2. We've got neutral gear as well. The speedo is now, I think, pretty spot on. We've got better and better over the speeds from the farm game as well. We can toggle our lights on. Oops, I turned my head, but we can toggle our lights on and off, which displays on the little dashboard as well. And we can handbrake and... Oop, I hit a wall. We do have damage, actually. I can talk about that. A GTA camera, where the camera sort of turns and tries to do the best... There we go. The best camera for the occasion. And I did hit the wall, but we didn't cause any damage. It looks, if I go and drive into something pretty quickly, we might cause a little bit of damage. Pow! Ooh, quite a good amount of damage. Yeah. So it sort of buckled up the bumper there, and you can take wheels off if you hit things fast enough. And as you noticed, when we hit that concrete thing, it moved. It was heavy, but it moved, unlike in the previous games where we hit cones and stuff and we'd just stop because they were solid. These cones and stuff we can actually drive through now, and it doesn't just like break us. Yeah, we can cross the start-finish line, which is just around this corner. Whoops, nearly lost it, and that'll give us a best lap time. Boop, like that. Really cool, really accurate, and I'm really pleased about it. So let's leave the race and let's try and get some other people in here. Let's race some exotics. These are the quickest cars that I've got, and we'll have 3 opponents. We'll keep the difficulty on average. You can have it on beginner, average, or expert. Now, average is basically the same as your car, as the player's car. The beginner difficulty like limits the amount of power that their cars have, and on expert they actually get more power than you, so the game sort of technically cheats and gives them faster cars. We'll just keep it on average. I put a lot of work into the AI to try and get them to go around the track as fast as possible, and a lot of tuning and trying to make it look natural. We'll put the AI in exotic cars with us, and they can have modifications, so they're going to be a little bit faster than us. The game didn't get far enough for me to be able to customize the player vehicle, but the AI do, as you can see, customize themselves with their own paint jobs and body parts. You can see they're all a little bit different actually. There's quite a good selection of them. But yeah, let's have a race in some fast cars. The position tracking isn't working by the looks, but that doesn't matter. My steering's a little bit jerky because we're playing with a keyboard. The AI do have some different routes that they can go. So, like, the front green car took a different route to the one behind it. I cannot race and talk at the same time. That's a superpower that racing YouTubers have, is being able to hold a conversation and get a good lap time. I don't know how they do it. Okay, did we get a good run? Not really. We don't gain any ground on the car in front there. Ooh, nearly hit him. Tap off the brakes. Take the corner a little tight. No, not good. Fortunately, as I made this track, I do know it quite well. We're going to come out ahead of that green one. Oh, big crash from the AI in front. He's out of the race. We take second. Round the final corner of the first lap. He takes a little bit of a bump. We've got a good drag. I can't quite get past him. No, he's blocking me. He's taking a shorter route. We're going to go wide. Ooh, try not to get him. I think we've got him. Oops, I crashed. Crashed out. He's hit me. He's hit me again. He's behind me. This one doesn't have wing mirrors, though. I didn't put those in yet to this one. Let's see if we can get round. Oh, that's not a good camera. That's not a good camera. That's a terrible camera and a big crash. Okay, anyway, you guys get the idea. Oh, some big old exhausts going on there. It's quite fun. It's quite fun, and you can race a whole bunch of different stuff there. And I was quite pleased with it. I hope it wasn't too choppy. It looks like it was terribly choppy looking at the preview. I do apologise for that. There's nothing really I can do about it. If you enjoyed this little sort of video session of me going through some old projects, then leave me a comment, let me know. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video and all that business, and we shall see you in the next one. I think I'm ready to get into a new project and see how far we can get with a new game. Bye.